Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer, and I'm here building model kits. Tonight we're going to continue on our build where are working on the V2 Victory Gundam, the clear version, which I got, as you can see here. It doesn't look great on this shot. The overhead shot looks way better because of the different filtering things I have to do to work my green screen in this room. Um, we're going to wait a couple minutes for folks to join us. I'm throwing the Bear Cave emotes there. If you're a subscriber, throw that Bear Cave emote in. Let the people know that they should be a subscriber. If you use your Twitch coin, it may have expired today. And if that happens, so you got to manually reuse it. There'll be a thing in there for you to do that. But yeah, it probably might be. I don't want to say probably. It could be a low turnout tonight. I know there are other things going on. People out there doing their thing. Lashbrook, hello and welcome. Yeah, I know that there are a few other people who are streaming tonight doing their thing, and it sometimes that makes it hard to pull in an audience. But I'm happy you're here. Um, and we'll get started in a couple minutes with some building. But yeah, I'm going to wait and see if a few more folks want to join us. And I'm okay with the low turnout because, that happens. Uh, Working on our Victory Gundam. I will show off here one thing that I did off stream is I applied two stickers, one to that and one to that. There are a bunch of red rings stickers you can see here. Um, and those are going to be kind of important for this. I'm not the biggest sticker person. I don't often apply them. These are just circular rings, so I don't think I can screw them up too much. And if you look at the finished product, which I don't know if the instructions quite show off. The instructions here are for the version that is not clear. They do not include a clear image. But if we look at the overhead, which we can go to now, you can see that if you look at that image, I'll blow one up, just kind of so we can take a look at it. I gotta do this. There. So if you look at this, these circles look to be pretty important, right? I didn't apply into the arms. There were spots where I could have, I think, but I'm probably going to go back after the fact and apply them. In fact, we could do that now while we're kind of seeing if some people want to show up. I can see spots where those belong. Basically, there's some circles there, so we could do that. Kick things off by doing that. Because I think they really do make the kit pop. And so I will try to include those. So let's make this small again. Put this over there. Then do that. Cool. Like I said, I think it might be a little bit of a light night tonight. Those of you watching on YouTube after the fact, you won't even notice, but some folks may notice that. And then tomorrow could also be a little light. I am streaming tomorrow from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern instead of my normal stream on Saturday. Going to a wedding on Saturday night, and I didn't. It was possible for me to race back in time, but it would have been cutting it very close, and any delay by the MTA, which, let's be real, is very likely, would have meant that I was very late for the stream. Hello, Mr. Bob. Hello, Jam. Welcome. Thank you for throwing the Bear Cave emote in there and letting me know you're here. I appreciate it. So what we're going to do is, you can see in the overhead shot, the circles that are on the sides here, they can also go on the arms. So we are going to apply that to the arm because we did not do that yet. And I do think that that is going to add a lot to this kit, which is, as you can see, thank you for the subscription using Zenelon, using your Twitch Prime. Really appreciate that. The Twitch Prime acts just like actual money for me as far as Twitch is concerned. So it is awesome way to support the stream. And now you have a cool emote you can use. I appreciate that. Um, let's see. Yeah, so basically I am just applying like this circle, and I'm going to wrap it around both sides of the arm here. You can see in the overhead shot. Let me get up top with that. They're little circles in the clear. Because it's just clear on dark gray, I do think it's important uh, to have some sort of accent piece on it. And these circles do have a break in them, so they're almost like swirls. And as you know, these will not be perfect, but they will be just fine. Yep, throwing that bear cave emote in there, Zelon. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. You know, last Thursday we were obviously very busy with the hello the hollow and welcome with the retweet from Jeff Gersman. We had quite a few new folks join us, and I was hoping some of them might be around tonight, but that's okay. They may be not to advertise another stream, but Waypoint is doing a charity stream. Um, Speaking of which, I'll probably say it later. I don't know when I am, but at some point tomorrow, I am currently scheduled to be on that Waypoint stream, the Waypoint charity stream they're doing sometime tomorrow afternoon, East Coast time. I don't know exactly when. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I have been talking with Danielle about that. So, barring some sort of incident or getting bumped for someone more well known in the video game space or something, I'm going to be on Waypoint stream tomorrow. So I will make sure to tweet that out, and I might even, if I have the mental remembering to do it, go in and set a host of it. Not that they'll need it, but yeah, I am going to stream tomorrow night at 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. That is the plan because I'm going to take this. You know what? I'm going to take the arm off. I'm going to take this arm off and make my life a little easier. As you can see, we have the components of our build here. We have the Core Fighter version. We have the transformed into the robot version. We have the arms and chest parts there that it locks into and is also a vehicle. Transforms into a vehicle as well. And now we're just putting some rings on our arms so that this looks cooler. Um, but yeah, I'm not necessarily expecting a huge turnout tonight, even though Thursday is our better night for audience. I understand that folks have other things they can watch. Um, I hope you're all well. I very much enjoyed my day off today. I really needed it. It was a busy week this week. So um, I did go out, left the house today, and I went to Old Navy, and I picked up a pair of dress pants that I am wearing to the wedding I'm going to on Saturday because none of my nice fancy clothes fit particularly great. I have a shirt, very nice dress shirt that I think looks good on me, but my pants, none of my pants fit well. So I went to Old Navy, hit the old clearance rack, and picked up a pair of pants that um, I'm totally fine with. They look very nice, but I'm also totally fine with them not fitting me once I lose some weight and them just being like emergency or wearing around or wear to uh, when when I want to wash all my pants, so I have to wear something to the laundromat. I would be fine with those being those because they were like $20 because I got them on clearance, which is nice. I also bought more socks. Hey, here's a pro tip from me to you, people watching the stream right now. Go get more socks. You know what? Do yourself a favor. Throw out your socks that have holes in them, or cut them up and use them as rags around the house for cleaning and stuff like that, because those can be good. But don't wear socks with holes in them anymore. You deserve better than that. Also, putting on a brand new pair of socks feels good. It's great when you get a new pair of socks. You're like, hell yeah, I'm wearing these now. That's a good thing. Just a little bit of encouragement from me to y'all. All right, so you have a sock purge. Yes, Mr. Bob, a sock and underwear purge are both very excellent. I recently did a sock purge, and I bought a bunch, and then I bought 4 pairs more because they were like $10. And yeah, they're gonna go quick, but like they were on sale and near the checkout because they know what they're doing. All right, so we put our arm rings on. You can see that in the overhead shot. Once again, the overshot is way better, I think, than this shot here. It's not terrible, but you can see now we've got some highlights there. This arm is really wobbly. I don't think it's going to hold a weapon very well, and I probably won't be able to put my shield on this arm because it's very wobbly. But the other arm will hopefully be able to hold the shield element. The beam shield, which I showed off before, it's this cool piece, and it like sticks on in there somehow. Uh, we talked about the elbows. I took out the elbow pieces here, hold the beam katana uh, parts, but I took those out, so don't have to worry about that. All right, so now we've done basically, yeah, we added those stickers to both sides. I don't think there are any other stickers we have to add because I think the other 4 are for the legs. So, speaking of legs, we're gonna work on waist right now. I cut up a bunch of pieces to do the old to get my fingers warmed up. As you know, that is the thing that I always do or try to do before every stream is get my fingers kind of warmed up so that I'm not making bad cuts. And also, usually when we get here on a Thursday, I really want to build. It's been a while. I think the next week is going to be tough because I will have not built in like a week, and I will be feeling like really feeling the burn by building tomorrow. Um, Hopefully, folks will remember to come and hang out tomorrow for the stream because it is a Friday night instead of a Saturday. But you know, I also made sure that obviously I'm doing it 9 p.m. my normal time, and I'm not competing with another popular live stream that some people like to watch. I mean, it's tough, right? You have options. If you want to watch other people stream tonight, there's a lot of things you could watch that aren't me. Not that I'm like inviting you to go leave because it's nice to have y'all here. But, you know, you got options. I understand that. Um, there are people who are doing things, and you could maybe go there. But don't. Stay here, please. Let's see. So one of the things, like the little tiny regret in my body, in my heart, I should say, about buying these pants that I picked up today for the wedding I'm going to, is that the hope is that they won't fit well very soon. I have started a diet. I lost. I started the Monday after New York Comic Con, so that was the 8th. So I've been doing it for a week and a couple days. I weighed in before I started on that Monday, and then weighed in this previous Monday. And as of Monday, I was down 3 pounds, which that's a good starting point because I am pretty overweight. So being able to knock out any of that fast is great. I am building towards doing the keto diet. Basically, the principle of the keto diet is by eliminating carbs completely and totally and eating a high fat, high protein diet, you are forcing your body to burn fat because it needs to burn something for fuel. It is not a lifestyle. It is borderline a fad. It does get results, but you can't just do it and then stop and then think you're fine. You have to move into another diet once you're done with it. So, but I'm looking to drop weight because I gained a lot over the last couple of years and I don't like it. I'm wearing double. This is a double XL shirt. It fits comfortably. My extra large shirts do not fit comfortably, and I would like to not have them. Uh, I'd like to be able to fit into them comfortably and have them all work out. So I'm on a diet. Uh, yes. Oh yes. I'm totally aware of that. The hollow. The initial pounds lost are water. And I am trying to stay hydrated. I know that that is a thing. I am not currently in full ketosis yet. I am still in reduction phase. I am taking it slow. Uh, I am allowing myself to cheat here and there in order to keep going and not give up. Uh, I am still drinking soda, which in a technical sense is allowed on diet. Cola is allowed on keto, but certainly not healthy for you. But I know that if I stopped cold turkey, then I would fall into uh, terrible caffeine withdrawal and be very bad. Now, one of the benefits I've had immediately with even just minorly reducing the amount of soda that I've been intaking and the amount of drinking more water is even though I'm drinking a lot more water, I'm not waking up several times during the night, which I was doing previously. The other night I went to bed at I think I slept like 8.5 hours and I didn't wake up once, and that is very unlike me. So I'm very excited about that. That was a nice benefit. Um, yeah, and overall, I just think that adding more vegetables, cutting out a lot of carbs, eventually counting out all carbs, and then yeah, just increasing my the amount, and sugars and stuff like that. There's still some of it, but I do have a friend who did keto and he got very dehydrated, so I am trying to be careful with that. Speaking of which, I'm going to drink a little water. So during streams like this, I will probably have more water. It's all about sustainability. What allows you to cut down on carbs, calories. That's very true. The hollow. That's a thing that, um, like honestly, when I was at my lowest weight, which was in 2012, I dropped a bunch of weight, and then I went to Weight Watchers and started going to meetings and being part of the program. And I don't think Weight Watchers is a great, um, in my opinion, for my body and my lifestyle and my choices. Weight Watchers doesn't work to lose weight. Weight Watchers does work, however, in my opinion, is a great is great for lifestyle change and keeping the weight off and maintaining something. I don't know if it works for everyone. For me, it worked very well. So I am eventually uh, looking to, drop some weight and then switch to a lifestyle. Yeah, the hollow. I've done a lot of research into what vegetables I need to be eating, what counts as carbs, what counts what the calorie intake. Um, uh, it honestly just comes down to I'm pretty good with portion control. I've always been very good about portion control. My biggest issue has been, and maybe always will be, the fact that I just like eating stuff that's not good for me, and like eating it a lot. So I have to be good about that. Okay, so I assembled this, and it doesn't seem right. So now I'm going to figure out why it doesn't look right. There's something where it's showing me an image, of these things locking into place. Look at this. Have to forgive me, folks. I don't quite know how this thing works. So, as always, a lot of it's trial and error with when it's the first time building one of these things. So, I am doing some trial and some error here. So this goes like this. I know that. Just so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, the hollow. I've done quite a bit of research in prep for this. Honestly, a lot of it right now is just trying. I mean, hey, if I'm eating a lot of calories right now, I'd rather it be, oh, I ate so much, peas and carrots and a little bit of corn. I'd much rather be that than I ate a bag of chips today. So that's honestly where we're at right now as I start to reduce and get ready for it to, be busier and to do more. Okay, so this went in this goes in like this. Um, but yeah, I could never do keto and probably do intermittent fasting, but eating out of boredom is a bad habit. Yeah, I mean, honestly, when it comes right down to it, um, food is my vice. It is the only real vice that I have. I don't drink. I don't do any recreational drugs. I don't gamble. I don't do any of that. But I do like food, and I do often eat because I just got back from work, so it's time to have some food. That's often the case. Like, I'm home and I'm gonna get some soda and I'm gonna eat some food and then I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, why do I feel like trash? Oh, I wonder why. Okay, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but I'm gonna look into figuring it out. That's what it should go into. Okay, so all right, so disconnecting. Sorry about this, folks. I really don't understand what I'm doing wrong with this here, so I'm trying to figure it out. I think I might have just. This goes like this here. These go here. Of course, this isn't it. There's no English in this, which is fine. Most of the time, you just kind of have to figure things out. But I am running into some sort of issue here where I can't. These things are supposed to interlock, and I'm unable to figure out why they won't, which is frustrating. The Hollow says, it's funny hearing some diet stories, and they give this long explanation that amounts to, so you gave up soda and beer and lost weight. Yeah. I mean, I don't have the beer to lose, but a lot of it is just, well, also, like, part of the reason why I'm sleeping better is because I'm not taking a lot of caffeine really late at night, which is what I was doing, and then I'm not going to sleep. And then I'm also like not eating and then immediately going to bed and then having heartburn, uh, which I never had before when I was in my 20s, but in my 30s, yeah, hey, look out, here's heartburn. So a lot of it's just like simple, real, easy stuff that I'm just like now kind of figuring out because now I'm like paying attention more to it. All right, so goes in like this, and it shows it closing down, and they lock into this piece. Once again, I'm hoping that I can figure out what I'm doing wrong here, and nail it so that we can move on to our next part of the build. That would be great if we could if I could figure this part out and move on to the next part. It'd be real good. So let's try. So this got to go like this, and then this goes up. That goes down. That's part of the transition, but it looks like it wants to be here. It's not going to be all talk about diet. I do have anime stuff to talk about. Watch some shows. I've got some opinions. Uh, talk about that. Oh, well, kind of figured that out. The Hollow says bad sleeps are horrible for weight loss because I'll wake up and think, fuck it, add some gravy onto it. Yeah, I mean, I usually don't eat when I wake up a couple times. Usually it's like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, or oh, I'm thinking about some stuff and I'm just gonna stay up and think about what's going on and that kind of thing. Um, So usually I'm not consuming stuff when I wake up again. But certainly waking up hungry, which I haven't reached yet, but I know will happen at some point. If and when that does happen, then it's going to be a little tough because then I'll be like looking for something to fill that void. All right, so this is like low. I think this. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble figuring out this part. I think we'll move on here and I'll just do this in my off time, figuring out why I can't get this to work right. Hmm. There might be some secret out there, I just don't know. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna move on. I'll take a look at this later. I'm just gonna build on from it. Right now, it means that if we started putting our suit together, that the legs would be weird. Um, and I don't want that, but I don't know what else to do right now. So we'll just move on and add the other pieces that we need to add onto this. It's not too bad. Um, but yeah, right now, like I said, my sleep is improved, and that's been good. Dropped a little bit of weight, which is good, so it makes things just fit a little bit better. Makes my hoodie fit better. And honestly, all it really is that I'm 5'10" and a half, and I carry my weight in my stomach, um, and then in my legs. But I don't think I ever really look the amount I weigh. So I don't sometimes notice that I'm putting it on. But I just want I want my shirts to fit better. I want my knees are not creaking, but they will again soon because I do exercises for my feet, ankles, and knees every day. But I know eventually they will start to not feel great. So basically, what's going to happen is eventually I'm going to look on a YouTube video of someone transforming this, and I'll figure out what I did wrong. Um, and why I can't get this piece to sit exactly right. Because somebody will have it on YouTube, as always. Somebody always has it on YouTube. Okay, so this goes. This. This goes here. You know what? Even 5 pounds less fat is better for you. Yeah, started watching Fist of the North Star and then switched to the manga because of the time commitment. Yeah, the Hollow. There's a lot of Fist of the North Star out there. I mean, I wanted to check out the prequel, which is airing now, but the art style made me unhappy. I just really did not enjoy looking at that art, so I decided not to watch it. Plus, there's so much anime out there anyway right now that it's okay, in my opinion, to not watch everything. It's just so much. Alright, so this will go like this. Because I haven't even watched everything yet still. I have not seen Gridman yet. I'm going to try to watch it tomorrow for the stream tomorrow night so that I can have something new to talk about, brand new to talk about. But yeah, I've been meaning to watch it, something else. And I was hoping that it would be SS Gridman because I've heard such good things about it, but as of right now, I have not been able to watch it. Haven't had the time. I want some formality before starting the game. Oh, familiarity starting the game. Yeah. Uh, Basically, the world went to heck, and luckily, there were some martial arts masters that kept their martial arts going, and they train their kids and their family members these martial arts, and then there's some bad people and there's some good people left, and some of the good people do some very bad things to do good things, and that's the show. It's kind of the show. It's Mad Max with death by fist, basically. And the phrase you are already dead is an important phrase in the show because you are already dead. All right, so which one do we gotta do? This one. So basically, the idea is both this part here, which we're right now just a robot, the top part, the body links into, and also the bottom element, which we're building now, the waist and the legs, are both also vehicles, and the core fighter can go with either one. So that's why we built two core fighters, so we could put one with each, which is pretty neat. Um, it's kind of cool that you got two of the fighters. That's kind of cool. Even though the show, obviously, you wouldn't link up with both of them in the show. It lets you do both, but we'll probably just have it as the robot Gundam, and then just have an extra core fighter. It's probably what's going to happen. Oops. It's funny to think how simple and formulaic plots were back then. Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. I mean there's still like a love stories, and there's still like intrigue and betrayal, and the introduction of badass cool characters who like are very cool and awesome. Like there's still a lot to that show, but it pretty simple. Like Ken's brother sucks. Uh, there's a whole army that sucks. A lot of dudes. One of the most important elements of the show is even though you just saw your friend die or your coworker die, and in completely in unbelievably nonsense, incredible way, you still think that your knife is going to do damage against this dude with a bunch of holes in his chest. Like you're really just like, well, I'm also going to attack you. It's like, nah, probably not. He's probably going to stick his thumb in your head and you're going to explode. Probably. You're probably not going to survive the fight. You should probably try to run away. But yeah, I mean, but obviously, who's going to listen? They're not going to listen. They're bandits. They're desert gang guys. They're not going to listen. They're not critical thinkers. Okay, so I'm going to get this one little piece in here that doesn't want to go in. And once I figure that out, I'm going to look at the anime that I want to talk about. I'll mention the show that. Okay, so my favorite show this season so far, and there's a lot of good, and I'm probably the weirdo that is like, this is my favorite anime, but that time I got reincarnated as a slime is just so fucking fun. The animation, hello Ozone, and welcome. Happy to have you here. Yeah, and I mean, a knife against Kenshiro isn't going to do any good, but there's still plenty of people that are going to charge him with a knife because they think that's what they need to do. So, that time I got reincarnated as slime. The most important thing to know about the show is the animations of the slime are very good. He emotes a lot via that. The slime and moving around and like exclamation points and question marks. It's very good. There is a thing called originally called a dire wolf that eventually becomes the Tempest Wolf, that is like a big old giant wolf that has a unicorn horn, and that thing fucking rules. There's a lot about that show that is great. There's just so much about that show that is incredible, and I'm a huge fan of. Uh, it's cute. So this is me, Pat Bear, highly recommending, because of course I am, Um, so let's see, A2 goes into D15, and then A1 goes no. 100% completely and totally recommending that y'all check out um, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. So it is the genre of go to another universe. You are very strong in that universe. It adds the reincarnation element, which has been popular in that kind of story. Um, it so far has not been gross. There is a allusion to deleting or destroying a computer because he knew he was dying. He asked his a survivor as he was dying. His dying wish was, "Hey, throw my computer into a tub, delete my files." Um, and then at some point, he's flustered about the clothing that the uh, hobgoblins and goblinas are wearing, and there's just a girl that just has, she's not wearing much. She's a adult goblin, uh, and he's like not gross about it. It's just etchy, but there's no harem yet. I'm sure it's coming. I mean, believe me, this genre needs it to live for some reason. So I know it's coming, but right now it doesn't have that. So it's really fun. You want a traditional Viking funeral for your PC? Yeah, I mean, it's very like this was a 37. This guy, the main character in the human Earth, was a 37-year-old virgin. So he he was just like, yeah, throw my computer away, please. Um, it's a good show. I like it. I think it's very fun and cute. The animation's fun, and I'm going to spoil a thing about it. So, there are these goblins, and they're just doing their thing, and our slime hero, who's very strong, ends up becoming like the protector of them, and he names them. And in this world, when you are named, you upgrade. So the male goblins become hobgoblins, and the female goblins become uh, goblinas, which I don't know if is a term. They should just be called hobgoblins. It's stupid. But okay, so this is the front piece here. We finished this of our legs or whatever. So we can put that aside. Now we're going to build some more legs here. We'll put this aside. We're done with that piece. Uh, so uh, there's an old man, the leader that hasn't been named. He's just like a guy. And then when he upgrades, he becomes a buff, really cool goblin dude. And he's like fucking rad as hell. And it's really funny, the juxtaposition. The Hollow, yes, Goblin Slayer. Now I don't. There are people who like it. So the thing is that people were mad about, honestly, was that it's brutal immediately. It's violent. It's gory. It doesn't pull any punches. There's sexual assault in the first episode, basically. And if you're, and they didn't really do enough build of the characters that were going to get fucking brutalized for you to see it coming. So you know that it's not going to go great, but fuck, man, out of nowhere, it's awful. And there are plenty of people who are into that because the Goblin Slayer himself, like, is very good at murdering fucking goblins, and he has a strong justification for doing it. Uh, he's very good at his job, which is to fucking murder goblins. So, I'm not. It really just like took people by surprise that weren't expecting the amount of awfulness in the show and just brutality. Uh, so it's gory and a lot. And it just really caught people off guard because they were like, "Is this a shonen show?" No, it's not. Watch Radical for that. Or Radiant, not Radical. Radiant is your new shonen. I mean, honestly, Black Clover's your new show because you didn't watch it last season, and it's time to get on board. Uh, it's time to get on board with Black Clover. Yes, Asta, the main character, yells his way through life. He's always yelling. It's a fucking lot. But the thing you need to understand is he's a very good boy, and he's trying so hard. It's a world with magic, and he's going to become the Wizard King, which is the top wizard. He's going to become the Wizard King so that he can take care of all the other orphans because he's an orphan. So he take care of his orphanage, and then someday marry the sister that is in charge of the orphanage. He does not understand that that won't happen, that she's not going to marry him. He does not get that because he is dumb. He also does not have any magical abilities. He's going to become the Wizard King without any magic, and that doesn't make any sense and is wrong. But he tries so hard, and he's such a good boy, and you should give Black Clover a chance, because I didn't at first, because I was like, this dude needs to shut the fuck up, stop screaming all the time. So magic is usually personified for each one by a grimoire. A grimoire is just a magical book that opens, and you have your spells in that book, and some people only have a couple spells, some people have a lot of spells. And you just go about your business, doing your thing, and you become stronger, and you get more spells as you kind of like improve. And Asta gets a grimoire that is just a big sword. It has no words in it. And then eventually pretty soon, a smaller sword comes out. And that's it. He's got a big sword, and then a smaller sword. And the thing that those swords do is they negate magic. So people that aren't like buff and tough, that just rely on their magic, soon just get knocked the fuck out by this like little dude that trains really hard and believes in himself and is trying his goddamn best. Will just like cut through their magic and then punch them in the face. And it works pretty great. There's some exceptions, obviously, of people who that doesn't work on. But it works pretty great. He's also not going to give up. That's a loaded, tough question, The Hollow. Do you think that theme is common in anime because Japanese people have problems with self-confidence? So, I don't know. I don't know if I can properly answer that. I will say this. That theme is common in anime because anime, like all other forms of expression and entertainment, take their cues from other things. You're either doing your version of a thing or you're doing your radical take on a thing. So I do think that main character is whiny is a trope that exists because it means so much more when they're not. And then Asta's not whiny. He's just trying really hard. I think that I honestly believe that this anime is a reflection of anime where the main character tries and it works, which is pretty new in that genre. Especially that shonen genre of just like, I mean, Naruto has all this magical ability that he can't, all the chi he can't tap into because he doesn't have a proper relationship with the almost limitless amount of chi inside of him because it's dark chi hosted by the fucking demon fox inside of him. So he's, the thing of Naruto is, slowly over time, he just worked so hard that people couldn't help but be on board, even though all the adults knew. And the kids didn't know why they didn't like Naruto. They didn't know why their parents were scared of him and didn't like him. They just, for years, they just grew up knowing it was okay to not like him and being kids about it. But he worked so hard that eventually everybody just accepted him and cared about him. And then he also was awesome and fucking saved the day a bunch. And that certainly helps. But I think a lot of very modern current anime and manga is influenced by Naruto. Uh, and that story of just like fucking just going for it and being and keeping your head down and working hard, uh, and then like very much succeeding. The house says, I've seen a lot of surveys about confidence in things like math proficiency, and places in that of Asia tend to have low confidence relative proficiency. Well, I mean, that's the thing that I just don't know. I don't know anything about. So I feel weird commenting on that. I mean, it totally could be that is a true thing. Um, but I think that My Hero Academia, while it is certainly a love affair with Western um, hero and superhero mythology and mythos and storytelling, it also is clearly uh, influenced by like by that positive energy. And it's, so even if you look at a show like if you turn it and look at a show like Hunter x Hunter, Hunter x Hunter is basically like, okay, it's the manga artist doing, all right, I want to do uh I'm gonna do Yu Yu Hakusho again, but what if instead of being like a good boy who's an asshole and kind of cocky, uh and started off as a delinquent, what if I just had a very good boy? What if I just had what I made Gon the best boy in the goddamn universe? I'll just make the best boy possible, uh, and that'll be my anime boy, and then I'll write a story around him. Because Gon is the fucking best. Um, but yeah, I think that. So anyway, Black Clover, what I was saying is, you didn't watch Black Clover last season. I didn't watch Black Clover last season. I started watching it in the transition between seasons. It's very good. Um, Asta is a good boy, and he deserves good things. And I love that there are multiple girls interested in him, literally because he's such a good boy, because he tries so hard and does so well. Also, hey, if the yelling boy doesn't do it for you, how about the guy that he's a rival with, who's like, who is basically the Sasuke? He's like always been talented and very cool. Well, he's got a little fairy. His magic involved in, because he's got the four leaf uh, Grimoire. So he's got this little fairy, and she is really into him and is super fucking mad about people talking to him and is like very territorial. And it's very funny because I did not expect that to be an evolution of that character, for her to just be like very much like protective of her boy. Uh, I think that's very cool for like a magical familiar to be like, hey, back off. Stop flirting with my Yuna. Um, and we haven't even talked about Charmy. I'm going to post some. So, Charmy, most of the time you see Charmy in her chibi form, just walking around as a little whatever. She has, she can make like weird versions of her dreams into like puffy, fluffy, sheep like things. I don't quite understand her powers, but she loves to eat. That's her big motivation, is food. She loves food, and she gets most uh, like psyched up when it looks like someone is trying to take her food. That's when she's the most powered up version of herself, is when her food source is threatened. Uh, and she's great and very cool. And so sometimes she just gets super badass, but most of the time she's just like cute and fun and great. And there's a moment in the show where a guy or a person whose powers is to change his physical form looks just like Charmy. So then there are two Charmies walking around, and it's fucking awesome. I'm a big fan of Charmy. She's great. I like silly characters who are actually really strong. Hollow says, I've added like 4 new things to my CRQ from this stream. Yeah, that'll happen. I mean, it's a new season, right? So I'm actually going to add in that I talked about. I'm going to add my keyboard in here. I keep track. You see in the YouTube description of all my videos are the anime that I talk about, the name of it, so that you can find the shows. So I'm going to add Black Clover. All right. So that time I got reincarnated as slime, Black Clover. We talked about that. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san, which, if you thought that time I got reincarnated as slime was the dumbest, long, stupid name of an anime that I watch, sorry, I'm going to talk about Skullface Bookseller Honda-san. So, I don't know why it's Skullface and not Skeleton, but it is. He's a skeleton man. That's his thing. Um, that's the big thing about Honda. It is like 12-minute episodes, I want to say. I'm actually going to look up to see what the length is. They're short. There might be a second where we hear it, but I'm going to click on, I want to see. So instead of the usual length of an anime, okay. Um, yeah, 11 and a half minutes long. So it's half the normal length of an anime. And within that 11 minutes is usually like 2 joke sections. So maybe a long joke one and a short one, like 2 stories. Maybe 1 story, but often 2 stories you're going to find in it. And so it's just jokes. It's based on the author and the time that he spent working in a bookstore that sells manga. So this is a manga-focused bookstore. And it's just about the types. The second one is just about it's just about how hard it is to work in a fucking bookstore and the deliveries that come in and working on the sections and having to cover for people. And it's I sent it to my friend who very much is not an anime person, but spent years of his life working his way up in Barnes & Noble and working on displays and cared very much about that. So I basically sent it to him going, hey, this is very weird, but I think you would uniquely appreciate it. And he was like, this show is very weird and I love it. Skullface does sound more badass than Skeleton, and he does have a skull face. But so anyway, it's very, very fun, and I think very cathartic. So I highly recommend that show. Like I said, it's 11 minutes, so you can plow through the episodes. You can watch episode 1 and 2 in the length of a episode of some other show. So I do recommend it. I think it's really good. All right, so then we're gonna snap this in here. All right, so we've got 2 pieces here, and I'm snapping them together. And then my goal is to put this into the shoe without this popping up and out, which is it really wants to do. And it's going to allow for flexibility of movement, which is great, but I don't want to lose it as I'm trying to attach these pieces here. So that is the challenge. All right, that seemed to snap in pretty good. All right, great. I'm also going to make sure that the edge is nice and clean, because that could be a problem from where I snipped my snipper clips. And I think that's better. Retail is disgusting, but I guess bookstores are a bit more relaxed. Well, so the whole idea of it is like books come in at different times, and especially so one of the things you have in manga is a lot of times you have like bookmark inserts, right? And guess who doesn't do that? Book distributors. That's the bookseller's job, is to put those inserts in. You'll see them, they're like ribbons to advertise like the next volume or another book in the series. That kind of stuff gets added in. Really what the second episode focuses, the first episode focuses on customers and weird customers. And the second episode focuses on a little bit on the other people that work in the store, and they're all weird, odd-looking characters that are very cool, and I'm totally into, because I think they're all great. But it also focuses on like yeah, trying to do the sections and get the orders in, and like the one guy being like, "Hey, I'm the shonen guy or the fantasy section. Do we really have to stock this book of just old swords? Can we get this booked in like a different section? Shouldn't this be in historical and like the boys love person goes on vacation? I can't remember what it is. Someone goes on vacation, so they have to like they're like, oh yeah, we'll take care of it, and then they don't, and so the section's just kind of like dead. I don't know. It's I've worked retail a lot, but I've never worked bookstore retail, but it seems to be pretty damn accurate. And also, it's just like silly and weird. And like I said, 11 minutes. So like, I don't know. I recommend the first episode. I think it's pretty cool. All right, so then we're gonna put this on here. We'll put this on here. Just building up our leg, our foot here, I should say, not our leg, but our foot. All right, so then we need C3. So that show is good. It's just good. Um, it's short and easy. It comes out on. Oof, sorry about that. It comes out on Sundays, but I've been watching it on Monday because I don't really have a lot of time to watch anime on Sunday. So I'm watching it on Mondays and it's a fun thing to watch right after the slime anime. Um, that time I got reincarnated as a slime because now I have my two very odd named shows are on back to, or I watch like in a block. Uh, the Hollow says there should be a Cells at Work style anime where the characters are bookmarks retelling the parts of the books they were placed the books in or something. Yeah, I can see that. I am wondering. Cells at Work seems to be doing pretty well, so I am wondering. In Japan and internationally, apparently there's a couple. Apparently, there's a course in China that assigned it as homework because of the accuracy of it. Um, and there's a hand sanitizer, Cells at Work hand sanitizer being sold right now, which I thought was a very smart, astute business practice. One of the things we talked about last weekend, I'm going to bring up again because I can't believe it. My anime of 2018, Laid Back Camp. We're getting a second season. We're getting a movie, and we're getting a mini show. So Room Camp, the little thing that happens at the end of every episode, there's going to be like a mini short. I don't know how long each will be, but it's a spin-off thing of its own of the goofy parts of the show, the goofiest parts, I should say, will be spun off into something else as well. So there's a lot more Laid Back Camp coming. If you watched every episode like I did, and you really loved it like I did, look at Kiss Anime or one of those. Find the little mini episodes that came out for because each Blu-ray had its own little micro like OVA little mini episode. One's 11 minutes, the other are like 4 or 5. The 11-minute one is really fucking weird. It's very strange, and I don't know why they went with that. But then there's one about two of the girls and why they started the outdoor club, and then there's another one that shows that is very odd, but really fun. But I do recommend those if you're a completionist like I am, because it's just such a good. God damn, Layback Camp just rules so much. Definitely gonna talk about that tomorrow if they let me talk about anime on Waypoint, or on yeah, on Waypoint's stream. Like as I said, I don't know when I'm gonna be up, or if something will change. As of right now, the Hollow says that was a good show. The Hollow was right. I don't know exactly when, but I am scheduled to appear at some point in the afternoon tomorrow on Waypoint's charity mega stream, but I don't know when that'll be. And then the last show that I watched today is As Miss Beelzebub Likes. It's called As Miss Beelzebub Likes, which is a weird long term. It is a slice of life show. It's a romance show that just so happens to be about a bunch of demons. They don't really look like demons. They look like what you might consider just fallen angels. Like they're fallen angels, that's their thing. They serve a purpose. They understand their purpose. And it's honestly just like Beelzebub is just like a cute young lady that really likes fluffy things. And she's got a new attendant who definitely, wishes that she was a little more badass. The second episode introduces two new characters that are in the opening song. One is a very silent, cool looking dude that seems very dependable. And so immediately, our main character, Million, wants to like emulate him, calls him Aniki, uh, sees him as an older brother type, and they're very cute. They're very cute and friendly together. It's really good. And then there's a little young lady who's got like social anxiety, and she seems nice and sweet. Um, yeah, just introduces some new characters to it. It's cute. It's great so far. I really like it. Um, I think that people that want it to be more about powerful demons will probably be disappointed because I don't think it's going to lean into it at all. I might like it to be a little bit more of that, but honestly, I don't think we're getting that, so I'm not going to complain about it. Like, that's not the show they want to make, right? They want to make odd. They basically want to make an odd location for their romantic workplace comedy, and so their workplace is like the palace and the inner workings of like hell, and like people that work there, and how like the underboss of hell is a cute lady. I don't know. I like it. As Miss Beelzebub Likes is the name of the show, and it's cute. And as I said, I have not watched Gridman yet. Radiant is fun. I have not caught up on Radiant. It seems good. JoJo. I watched the first episode. I'm going to wait on it. Turns out I don't like watching episodes of JoJo and then just being left with a cliffhanger. The art style is still really solid as always. Um, I don't know. I don't know anything about the story really yet. I don't know if I'm gonna, what the story is with the show and what's going on with it. Um, I'm kind of taking a wait and see about that. But like I think I'm gonna just pause on it. Um, One show I am going to watch a bunch of is I'm going to try to keep up with Fairy Tale. Originally, I was going to stop watching it, but and I was just going to watch it later. But folks may have seen the information out there that Funimation is taking itself off of Verve. So people's Verve's accounts, mine included, are a little less cool now. Starting November, will be a little less cool, which is a shame. But that's because Sony bought Funimation at some point. So Verve is going to make a deal with High Dive, which is another place that does dubs. And I don't know what that's going to mean for the anime that was originally Funimation that was then... Because Funimation and Crunchyroll did this thing where, like, if you want to watch the dub of uh, My Hero, you watch that on Funimation, and you watch the sub on Crunchyroll. And then occasionally, like even like the dub of Sword Art Online is available on Crunchyroll because of the deal the two of them had. But mostly Funimation deals in dubs, so like Gridman is available on both. But some of the shared library stuff, I don't know where that's gonna go, and suddenly there might not be stuff available on Crunchyroll. And then the High Dive deal, I don't know what that's gonna be. I don't know how any of that works. So I'm gonna try to watch Fairy Tail because I feel like Fairy Tail might be a show that doesn't make the cut, and then the subs might disappear on Crunchyroll, or they might be available only in other countries, not in the U.S. Because I don't know. So I don't understand how a lot of that stuff works. It just sometimes seems like, oh no, that could be bad. Any video games coming out interest you, Pat? So, Red Dead does and it doesn't. I liked Red Dead, but I don't know if I want a big open world game. Um, I have been meaning to pick up The Missing. I want to play The Missing because I like the work that Swery does. Um, so I am interested in checking that out. I know that there's some self harm in it, and so some people have been talking about that being kind of a rough one, but that it's very interesting and very like focused on its queerness, um, which sounds cool. So, uh, yeah, I don't know. Right now, I don't know if that's going to be something that I definitely check out, but it's something that I'm interested in checking out. So, uh, that's the one right now that I was like, oh, I might watch that. Okay, so what the fuck? This looks so this lives here. It says that this goes. Oh, okay. Like that. Put this shoulder. I put this piece on wrong. Yeah, I just haven't had time and energy for a large open world game. Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, I'm primarily a PC gamer. I've been playing. I'm been playing. I started another game of Yakuza Zero, so I'm on my third playthrough. I played once on PlayStation, and then I'm jumping to this time. I've been playing on the N64. So what am I saying? Sorry, I have a lot in my brain. I've been playing on the this time around. The first time around, I played on PlayStation 4. Second time, and now the third, playing on the PC. I played it through just with like cheats, and now I'm playing like a real version of it, basically. All right, so basically we're connecting our pieces here, and I've got to do this in a particular way so that everything lines up right. Uh, I wish the instructions on this part were a little better. They seem to, be okay, but I wish they were better. All right, so this goes on here. This. Uh, Dead looks good, but I just recently played one, and honestly, John Marston is kind of an all for it. I mean, yeah, I mean he's a protagonist. He's a bad guy. It's a revenge story. But yeah, that is a lot of the times when when they want to give characters agency and not just be a blank slate conduit. Um, they often aren't the coolest dudes or ladies. That is often the case anyway with that kind of show. All right, so let me put this on here. All right, so we are overdue for a break. Hello, Dr. Jones, and welcome. Um, Perfect timing. We are now going to take a momentary break in me building so that I can talk to y'all about ways that you can help out the stream. We got another 50 minutes or so about the stream. Dr. Jones is declaring himself number one or the stream number one. I don't know which, but um, so if you haven't followed the stream, if you're not a subscriber, you can hit the follow button and you can set your notifications so you know when I'm streaming. Subscribing with your Twitch coin or just with actual money helps me very much. All the money I make for streaming through this and through my Patreon, through cheers like we just got from Dr. Jones. Very much, thank you very much, Dr. Jones, for the cheer. Yeah, bits and all that. All of that goes into me buying more kits. Like I bought here. I went to the New York Comic Con, bought this kit. I will buy more kits with the money that I get in the future. Recently got a payout from Twitch. Bought a Lego set, which came today. Bought and bought a model kit, which came today as well, which will be built in the future. Another way you can support me if you don't want to do it through Twitch is through Patreon. I have a Patreon. Right now I'm at $120. I'm trying to get $150 a month. At $150 a month, I will add a Monday weekday afternoon stream. I'll stream one more day a month. One more day a week, I should say. That's 4 more streams a month for an hour on a weekday, which will be fun. So Patreon, there's some rewards, and check out the tiers and all that. I'm going to redo the video for that at some point. Uh, Also, I have my Amazon wish list. Yes, the wish list. If there's anything that you'd love to see me build on the stream that you've never seen me add there, you can always add it to the wish list. You could ask me to put it on the wish list. I would add that. Anything you buy on the wish list immediately jumps to the queue, and I build next. The next kit I'm going to build is the Heavy Arms High Grade from Endless Waltz from Gundam Wing that I bought at New York Comic Con. But after that, if someone bought me something on my wish list, it would jump the queue, and I would build that next because what I want to do. Also, I have my tip jar, which is just my coffee, and any money that goes there, like any of the other money I make, goes into me buying model kits. Theoretically, I'm going to YouTube AdSense is going to actually have to pay me out. The threshold is $100 after years of doing a lot of stuff where I couldn't make any money. It looks like I hit this threshold, and I will be getting a payout, which is pretty much incredible for me. I'm very proud of that. Yeah, I believe the billing is at some point. I don't know exactly when the billing is, but next time they do the billing, I'm going to receive a payment from YouTube for ad revenue. Years of doing 404ing it, which I could not get any money from ad revenue on because of all the content that we were talking about on it. Couldn't that. So it was just like, promo videos here and there, occasional comedy videos. Improvised postmortems have done very well for me. That show, I can put ads on and people watch them, which is awesome. And then finally, I've got a Discord. You're welcome to join my Discord, the Build with Bear community. Love having folks jump in there and chat. I always post photos of stuff I'm working on here and allow people to post the stuff they do as well. So feel free to jump in there and chat, And that's a great place to post photos if you're working on projects. If you're putting together model kits or Lego sets or painting miniatures or, I don't know, putting together IKEA furniture, it's always cool when people add stuff to that. So feel free that once you join, it's pretty lightweight. There's not a lot of conversation going on there. It's an easy one to keep up with. Check every couple days. But I thought it was another cool thing to add to the streaming stuff that I do. All right, so let's get back into the building. That was that. Reminder that I am streaming tomorrow, Friday night, from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. instead of on Saturday. That's 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern instead of Saturday. And that is purely because I am going to a wedding on Saturday and didn't think I'd be able to get back in time. Like I did the math of like the commute and all that, and I was like, this is not going to work. And I didn't want to be very late for the stream. So instead, I'm just not going to stream tomorrow. I'm going to stream tomorrow instead of streaming on Saturday. Just, yeah, felt like the right compromise. Okay, so this looks like that. This looks like that. We just did this one leg, so the other leg shouldn't be too much of a bother. But, always trying to make sure I'm doing these right so that I don't have to redo them. Because that's always a bummer. It's when you have to redo the assembly of a kit because you thoroughly screwed up. Like, I think that waist piece that we did, that I'm like, something's very wrong with that. I feel like I'm going to have to do that again. Alright, so... But yeah, Trying to think if there's anything else going on with me. Um, the Hollow said while I was doing my thing, the one good thing about the abundance of open world games coming out is by the time I'm done with one, the rest will be on sale. That is very true. If you're waiting for another one to come out, you usually don't have to wait too long, so that's good. Okay, so what am I doing wrong here? So this goes like this. Go like that. Nope, doesn't go like that. Alright, sorry folks. Just taking a second here as I try to figure out what I'm doing wrong. As always, occasionally it takes me a second, even though I did this already, just kind of look at it and see what's going on, what's wrong. That goes in there like that. Alright, that goes in like that. And then this goes like that. I think that goes like that then. All right. Oh, that looks more right. Looks right. Yeah, okay, great. Figured it out, everybody. Don't worry. I got it. Know what I gotta do. Oops. I say that as a piece literally flies at my face. Like, oh, I got it. Boom. Sucker punched. If there's anything that you all want to chat about for the rest of the stream, we got another 40 minutes or so of our stream here as we build our legs. I'm always willing to chat about stuff. I got a couple other things I can always talk about, but like to make sure that I'm hitting the stuff y'all want to talk about. I think I mentioned the games that I'm interested. The biggest game I'm interested in is playing The Missing because it seems very cool. Um, I'm looking at to see if there's stuff that like I can buy on Discord. Uh, Using the Discord store seems like a cool way to support devs as long as they do well from it and their ecosystem is always good. I personally believe. All right, why is this being so weird? The other build we did here was not weird, so it's been odd. This one has been so odd. But yeah, if there's anything else folks want to chat about, more than welcome to entertain y'all. Gonna have to think about some stuff. Getting some stuff together for the next League of Heels show, which will be at PAX Unplugged. Promoted that we are going to be playing a game, Smack Talk Showdown, which is an improv style, fun, very cool game. I'll have some game developers, board game developers, video game developers, and then the hope is also some wrestlers. We're working on that. Philly is full of, it has a very vibrant, eclectic, and awesome wrestling scene between a lot of kaiju, big battle folks, and also Chikara. So I am hopefully going to be able to get a few cool wrestle friends to come by and do that. That's the hope anyway. We'll see if that works out, but that is my hope is I'll be able to book some cool wrestlers, and yeah, then they get to play a fun game and check out a board game convention. The Hollow says, I've been trying to break out of my genre comfort zone, and fighting video games are hard as hell, but even an okay fighting stick game makes it really fun. Arcade sticks are just fun in general, says Lashbrook. And this is where I say, hey, why do I have this creepy deja vu feeling. I feel I have this incredible sense of deja vu right now. It might be that the Hollow has talked about trying fighting games before, and Lashbrook has talked about how arcade game sticks are fun before. That might be totally possible, but it is this moment where I'm like, what's happening right now? Why do I have this deja vu feeling? But I very much do. All right, so this goes. All right, so I need to put these pegs here. Oops, oh no. These pegs here, I'll put them right there so you can see them. Uh, are how our sections snap together, but then we'll be able to theoretically come apart pretty easily. So F32. Yeah, it's how our different sections are going to be able to connect, but then also come apart. Looks like. It's just a glitch in the matrix. I am a motor mouth, so it could be. Yeah, I mean, it totally could just be a weird, but I did get a deja vu feeling. But yeah, I'm very excited about Packs and Plugs. We got some art coming. I got a new shirt that's almost done being designed by by our friend the Ozone. If Ozone's still around, I don't know. And of course, it's fine uh, if Owen had to take off. But yeah, there's a new shirt that will be in the store that will not be on our web store for League of Heels. It will be available only in person because it is a influenced shirt. It is a shirt influenced by pop culture that maybe wouldn't pass scrutiny and could be considered to be at best a parody, but most likely flagrantly copywritten. So much like the one time we sold uh, the one time that we sold our N64 wrestling controller shirts or classic controller shirt instructions, uh, probably can't sell the shirt that we're going to be selling ever like on a website, but we can do it in person, so we'll do that. The last fighting game I played uh, was what was the last fighting game I played? I played a fighting game pretty recently. Oh, for me it was Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball. Uh, I'm terrible at it. I'm unbelievably, incredibly awful at it. Fighter Z, but dang if I didn't enjoy it. Very much enjoyed a good Dragon Ball game. It was exactly what I wanted. All right, so there's the leg. We got a lot of the leg. This is really fun because this is pretty layered for a thing that's just going to be covered in colored pieces. This is pretty in depth, uh, all things considered. But yeah, so we're putting this together here, getting our leg together. Happens in slice of life. I got tired of other genres and things like twists that get people hyped to Lost on me. So I tried out Layback Camp and enjoyed it. Yeah. Um, uh, yeah, I think slice of life can be some people just don't aren't ever gonna like it, right? Like I recommended Flying Witch if you want some supernatural stuff in a very nice chill story. Flying Witch might be the most nothing happens anime because it's just breezy, but it's a beautiful, clean, fun, just chill, relaxed, lovely little show that I highly recommend. Flying Witch, if you like just like a relaxing um, anime, if you're looking for that, I think it's just incredibly lovely of a show. Highly recommend Flying Witch because it's got that sci-fi element that I really like while not being obsessed with it and there's cool characters. Talked about it before. Um, you borrowed Fighter Z from the library. You just physically can't do it. I understand. Yeah. Um, that system might not work for you, and then that is tough if that game system doesn't work for your style or what you want to play as. I understand. Um, Lastbrook did say about the shirts that see what you do is you mash it up with a second copyrighted thing, and it's totally fine. No, I mean then you're doubling your chances of getting cease and desist. I At the time, the Ghostbusters license was not particularly litigious, but the Pokemon licensees, the Pokemon Company, are a very litigious group that really tries to protect themselves. So when I, in my a few years ago, this is quite a few years ago, was pitching shirts for Busted Tees, I pitched a Ghostbusters shirt, Pokemon mashup. This was before the reboot of the reboot, sequel, pre whatever, um, the new Ghostbusters movie. Before that came out, uh, I pitched a shirt called Pokebusters, and it's a Gengar instead of the Pokemon. It says Pokebusters, and it's in the Pokemon font, and that got a cease and desist very quickly. But I'm sure they sold a few shirts. I mean, I bought one. The other shirt that I sold, because I only sold 2 shirts to Busted Tees before I stopped doing it, because they didn't want to make the shirts I really liked and made the ones that took too long for me to pitch them. It was just too much for for a very low return on the amount of times I was pitching. It took forever to get paid, and it was like annoying, so I stopped doing it. But I pitched 2 of the shirts I pitched got made. That was one. The other one, which you can still, if you look it up, if you go to Busted Tees website and you look it up, you can come to a print on demand, which so they don't sell it just outright in the store, but you can get, it's like a legacy shirt. It is the state of Texas, like a map of the state of Texas, but all of the parts of Texas are broken up into Tetris pieces that are linked together, and it says "Don't mess with Tetris." And I think that's a very good dumb joke and a good dumb Busted Tees shirt. And I was proud of that being a thing that got made. And then now it's like the Tetris company apparently never saw it, but it's not in regular stock, but you can get it made to order if you want to spend the money. I think that's a pretty good dumb shirt. A good dumb joke. The one that I tried to get made that they never wanted to is I wanted an actual photograph shirt, a shirt that was a graphic tee, but it was a photograph, and it was a lunchbox, like an old school style, like domed lunchbox that you opened up, and inside of the lunchbox was opened, and the photo was a big star, like a starfish star, a flower, and a mushroom. And then it would say, the text would be tools of the trade. And it was like a clever, wouldn't get a takedown notice from Nintendo, like Mario shirt. And I just think that's a fucking great shirt. And I was bummed they didn't want to make it. I submitted it a couple times. And I was always a little annoyed that they did not make that shirt, because I think it was a good idea. And now you can have more tools, because you could have, the different kinds of mushrooms and stuff if you wanted. But I don't pitch t-shirts anymore. Anime fighters do love their dashes, Lashbrook. You're totally right. Yeah, that system and then the Persona games have that as well, as they are clearly an anime fighter as well. All right. So we're like pulling this back so that we can put on. Now we're going to start putting clear over this, which is good. I was thinking about doing a black canvas or something to build our kits, because the clear pieces don't show up too well on our table. But then I realized that we were going to be building all these bases and then putting the clear over it, and I think that this wouldn't be great on black canvas. So I'm going to cough. Pardon me. Have a little water here. All right. So put the All right, so let's put the what are we gonna put on here? Yeah. So now we're putting some clear armor on top, as I said. Um, that's the stage of this kit build, which is 6 over here. Also for this stream, you would be yes. If I put a black canvas there, I would just be I would have to wear a shirt that isn't this color because I would be a floating head. Yes, you're right. Folks may have noticed that or I would have worn a shirt that had graphics on it. Obviously, I don't wear anything that's green in it, but I am wearing generally a base level black shirt that might have some text on it. Um, and I generally do that because I have all my windows closed, and I have only one fan going, but it's on a very low setting because I don't want to interrupt anything with sound in here. Um, and the heat just came on. But even before that, like in the summer, it just gets very hot, and I sweat obviously a lot. Not necessarily obviously, but I sweat a ton, and so I don't want to. I don't want to sweat like through a shirt, basically. So I usually wear black when I am doing this. All right, we'll put these back. Floating head Pat. Yeah, I mean, the shirt I was wearing earlier today to walk around is a light green shirt, and so when I was testing all my settings, I realized it was like, oh, this light green is see-through, and the text was kind of appearing, but not all the text. A very good shirt. I don't know if it's still on Sebe's store, but it's a shirt that says in French, "Will you play Dungeons and Dragons with me?" It's a very cute shirt. All right, so we're getting ready to put in there, putting some stuff on there. Uh, I mentioned before, I'll talk a little bit about this. Someone asked, like, people have been asking what I was going to do about uh, the idea of not playing video games for League of Heels, and like how is that going to work because the Uno didn't work. And the thing I reply to is, I didn't have anything to do with the Uno. That Uno game, which is, in my opinion, the biggest disaster we ever had in League of Heels history, gameplay wise. Outside of the game stop working or the USB completely disconnecting, because we've had that certainly. But we had the idea that it just fundamentally the segment didn't work because we had someone holding it. We had two people playing the game and in charge. The people who were in charge of like the tech and making sure it worked were also playing the game. So that didn't quite work out. That was a bad call. But in my head, I kind of solved the problem of playing like board games. But the nice thing is playing a card game. I even know the Uno ahead of time, so my hands are good. No, yes, Owen, of course. Ozone, no blame on you. I'm talking about like it was fundamentally just like a dumb idea, and the idea of just someone holding a big old original iPad as a camera was just like not well thought. It wasn't well thought out. So I was thinking of other ways, like I have a webcam on a pole, like and having a stationary webcam clamped to a desk, kind of like I did the Lego challenge, which is available on my YouTube. But when I did the Lego challenge, like that was like thinking ahead of like how would I also do a League of Heels show if we had to like look at a table. And the solution we came up with, which is pretty great, is that Smack Talk Showdown is a card battling game, and you don't need to see the audience doesn't need to see the card, so you don't need to do anything. You're just literally, I'm just gonna have people at the podium being funny, and then a table, uh, and then yeah, they come up to the podium, and then we'll also be at the table, and it'll be fun. And I just need to like maybe take one table off to give a little bit of standing room and chatting room because I think that's way more fun. But it's going to be way easier to do because then the screen will either just be, because it's a streamed show, the screen will either just be the camera, the Twitch camera pointing at the people, or it will be our PowerPoint of like cool slides. Uh, so it's pretty straightforward. I was worried you'd have me holding the camera from plugs and so tall. Look, Ozone, I definitely thought about handing you a webcam on a pole because I have an extension pole, and then just having you like be available for like overhead shots, not the whole time, but like, hey, Owen, get in there, and then like cutting to you. Believe me, I did think about doing that since you are so tall. Just having a sky cam, because as far as I know, the room we're in, it does not have like a rig. That's what I really want. I want the poker rig. I want and the gentleman behind Sentinels of the Universe or whatever has this rig as well. That's what I really want. I want the poker like ceiling on the table rig. That's what I think would be the fucking coolest. We don't have that. I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing that will just be like in the streaming rooms, but it would be fucking cool. Because I think it would add a lot. If we had that in the future, then I know I would do it. But um, right now, I'm content with just whatever we're doing with having um, not needing the cameras, which is great. Having a on a pole thing would be very wrestling to do. Yes, a camera on a pole would be pretty good. Yeah, Smack Talk should be fun. The three folks that I have, we haven't announced it on the channel, but we did announce on the program because I wanted to get some name recognition going. But Chris Straub is going to be great at this. Tommy Maganis from Secret Hitler and a few other awesome games is a really funny dude. Tommy is going to be great for the show as well. And then who else is doing? And Tom Dyke from Cards Against Humanity, who debuted at PAX Australia. Will finally get to do his first U.S. show. Tom's going to be great at that as well. And then we have a mystery tag team that will be competing that are game designers. So people from the game design world I've already booked, and I'm going to have 4 of those. Although one of them, as I said, will be a tag team that I am keeping under wraps. And then the idea is to book 4 wrestlers from the Philly area. That is the hard thing. It's hard to not only book folks, but keep them booked because obviously they want to wrestle professionally and accept paid gigs, and I'm offering them a cool badge at a fun weekend, and them not having to do any wrestling and just be fun and funny. So I am anticipating confirming a couple people and then having at least one of them back out because they will have accepted a paid wrestling gig. And then they can, and then not go play a board game. Totally understand that if that comes up. Hope it doesn't. Hope that when I end up booking some people, it'll be great and work perfectly. But I'm being a little realistic about it, as realistic as one can be. Oops. But yeah. We're going to have The blue shirt that I debuted at PAX, the League of Heels logo blue shirt, will be at PAX Unplugged. That we debuted at PAX West, because I want this coast to be able to buy one, and I also have the leftovers from PAX Unplugged, or from PAX West. Uh, you're trying to say some of the things don't go as planned at these shows? Yes, I am definitely saying that. I am trying to keep that from being a thing that happens. But that is my goal. But even like outside of like the Rumble, which is totally unpredictable and things go wrong. But like, yeah, the thing I'm trying to approach in my work as the current uh, booker, booking the main shows, while Aaron takes much time to work on his actual business uh, and outside projects, is I'm trying desperately to just keep the thing running and make it so that the mistakes are part of the experience and not detrimental. We're very good at running with our mistakes and figuring things out, but you never know. Uh, Sometimes somebody wins a thing by mistake, and you're like, oh no, how do we work that out? And then you make it work, you figure it out. Not this last show, previous show that happened at. It happens. Unfortunately, it happens. But you try to just move on and figure out the fun stuff and keep going. And then, speaking of sometimes you screw up, I cut out the wrong piece there. It's not the piece I wanted. I wanted this clear piece, and I got it. Alright, so that's an extra piece there. And now we're just adding more armor, more clear armor, as we will continue to do throughout this process of just adding more armor. Alright. There. But yeah, got some time before Unplugged, but I am excited about it. I am bummed that the Lego Challenge did not get accepted. I can kind of understand. I think that West and East have, existed for long enough that they can get away with doing some weird things that aren't typical. Whereas I think Unplugged is kind of sticking to lots and lots of board game and tabletop stuff. And even League of Heels is a bit of a stretch, although we are playing a board game or playing a card game. I can understand why a show where I build Lego with two fun people didn't get accepted, but it happens. Hopefully, I will be able to do that show at East. That's the goal anyway. At the very least, at PAX East, I will be doing um, uh, improvised postmortem, which I'm not doing at East or at Unplugged because I just didn't think I would have enough people to pull it off. But I'm definitely going to do that at East because that show is very fun and people seem to really like it, and I love doing it. Um, and I will not be doing 404ing it. 404ing it is now retired. I have officially decided to retire it because it is an incredible amount of work. And my very last one, which was the last PAX East, did not have fun. Didn't have fun putting together. Didn't have fun hosting it at the time. Had some cool people in it, but it was kind of a disaster and not the kind of show I want to be doing. So yeah, that may come back someday, but also, and it is a minor thing. I don't want to be focused on money, but it can't ever make me any money online, the little dollars and cents. So, and it's an incredible amount of work to then go wrong. It's a bummer. So, Shitty to say, but that's unfortunately where I'm at with that show. I really love it, but had to let it go. Someday I'll bring it back. I mean, it is what brought me to the table. It is what the first show I submitted, the first panel I ever submitted for PAX was uh, was 404ing it. Uh, Thank you to Ryan Davis, where wherever you are out there, for agreeing to be on it. He and Chris Kohler and Eric Pope doing it is the reason why I got to do it, because they agreed to be my panelists. Um, and that opened the door for me to do a lot of dumb stuff, like be at League of Heels. Shame it's going away, but if it's not fun, it's still going. Yeah, I mean, like Ozone, it's just honestly like I'm just down on it, right? I'm just like I didn't have fun the last show we did of it. Um, my guests were really awesome, but they didn't send me videos. Two of them didn't send me videos until my train ride to PAX. So like, nah, that's I don't want to. It's like the honest thing is I can't really work on a panel while we. I really can't work on a panel while I have a booth, and we're gonna keep tabling for League of Heels as long as we can. So I'm gonna have a booth for the foreseeable future, and so I can't really work on that show, which needs a lot of prep time and a lot of babying and a lot of work. Um, I can't really do that while we have the table stuff going. Just doesn't really work. Whereas the other programs I do work a lot easier. The other stuff I do is yeah, easier to do um, uh, while I'm doing other things. Like improvised post mortem. Now all I have to do is just worry about people falling off the stage. That's the only thing I have to focus on, is solving that problem. Like other than that, pretty easy show to put together. Oh yeah, that's the goal, Ozone. Like the other thing is that one of the biggest problems with doing 404ing it is that I'm requiring people to do homework, which is terrible. No one wants to do homework. No one wants to send me a bunch of videos that I can then edit and clip out and put together. Nobody wants to do that part of the work. Some people do. Aaron Trites does. Eric Pope does. Alex Navarro wants to get me videos and wants to show off videos. Max Temkin wants to do that. But those are weirdos. They're great weirdos who are my dear friends, and I have nothing but love for them. But they're weirdos. Most people don't want to do that work. Most people just want to show up and be fun or funny, and they don't want to do like they don't want homework. Uh, and I understand that. Um, or they second guess themselves, or they have a big issue with it. But yeah, I was very happy with my last crew. And like I said, I'll probably do it again. But yeah, working during PAX is impossible. There's too much going on. Uh, I do have some free time, but for the most part. Ooh, I should put the call out for that. I'm going to put the call out at some point in maybe November. I'll put a call out for folks to send me their favorite moments from League of Heels, like action moments. Because I'm going to have a thing that I will show off on the stream at some point. I'll probably show off in a video at some point, but I'm going to have a thing on the table that will allow me to show video. I figured out how to show video. I won't do audio because I'm not going to be rude, but I'm going to be able to show some video stuff during the day and so I'm going to be inviting people to send me clips. I already know that I'm going to like show like throw those there. I'm already going to show like the montage that someone made of all the Austin nicknames, which is incredible, and like I'll show the trailer for the best of VHS and course, there'll be a bunch of times where I'll show like just like the information about where the panel is and all that. But there's room for me to show like fun video packages as well. I remember wanting people to send me pictures of them and their costumes for the graphics. Turns out it's too much work for them. Yes, Ozone. Ozone, you pretty much have to take photos of them. You just have to use previous photos, and then they changed their gimmick and didn't tell you, and you're like, oh, shit. But yeah, no one's going to take a photo of their ring gear outside, except for like Dan. And even Dan, like you have to track down, but Dan will be the most likely to put that stuff on or just be wearing it. Hello, washable markers. Once again, a absolutely fantastic username. We are getting close to the end here. I'm going to try to barrel through the last couple pieces here at the end of the stream. Once again, I will be streaming tomorrow, not on Saturday, but I'm streaming tomorrow from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. Instead of my normal Saturday stream, I'm going to a wedding on Saturday. And then, if everything goes well, hopefully it will, I will be on the stream for Waypoint. I'll be on the Waypoint stream tomorrow in the afternoon. Again, don't know when exactly that'll be. The hope is that it's going to be in the afternoon. I'll be doing that, so people can come check that out. But I don't know when that'll be exactly. Oh, no, that's wrong. Oops. Oh. Let's put this piece on. Way wrong. Now hopefully it comes off. Heck yeah. Show us the way. Yeah. Yes, the way to Waypoint. Yeah. So I don't, yeah, like I said, I don't know when that's going to be, but it will be at some point. Tomorrow. I'll be doing that, which will be cool. Alright, so that's going to go on this because it's the leg. That's kind of interesting. So instead of having it like cut off at one part, I'm just putting on this armor piece here, and it's making it so that makes this that size leg, because now this piece of plastic is going to cover up one of the sides of the hole. So now this is the right leg because of that. Or the left leg, I guess. And then one more piece, and then I'll put some stickers on, and then we'll call it a show. We're getting there. I think tomorrow we will definitely finish this up, and we will start. We'll finish our weapons, and then we'll probably start the heavy arms tomorrow. But yeah, this will definitely be finished up. 3.5 streams seems about right for one of these kits. There was some tricky stuff there. Like I said, I still don't know. Like I'm going to put this together here. And they're done, except for the stickers. But I couldn't lock this part of the back leg together right. So when I put these on here, which I'm doing now, it's not right. So I'm gonna have more work to do to figure that out. But basically it's meant for these to like go like this because of the vehicle that this combines to. It might be fine even if it doesn't lock into place. It might still stand upright. But yeah, let's apply our stickers and then we'll go. For those of you that didn't watch the top of the stream, I added stickers to our arms here. I'm not usually one to add stickers. It's not my thing, but I'm doing it on this because it's just clear over what was I gonna say? What did I want to say? Oh, because it's just clear, like it needs something. It's just clear coating over gray. It needs a little something, even if that is just a little bit of red. And it won't be perfect because I'm not perfect at applying stickers. But it'll do. And it'll be whatever it is. And I'm okay with that. I hope you're okay. Hope you're doing well. How's our Pokemon going? Well, washable. There's new fucking Pokemon. Gen 4 came out, and I have caught, I believe, 6 of them. 6 types. I've got your 3 starters, and I've got 1 evolution of each of the 3 starters. I don't have the second evolution yet. I caught enough Bidoofs to upgrade one of them to whatever the upgrade of Bidoof is called. I forget. And then I also upgraded the bird Pokemon, Stantler or whatever it is, for one of its 2 evolutions. I haven't done the second evolution. And then I caught up quite a few, I guess. I also caught the bug one, with a K, that evolves into a bigger bug that has a mustache. This motherfucker has a mustache. So here's the real honest God thing: is Gen 4 Diamond and Pearl is the least amount of time I spent with any Pokemon uh, game. So it's the generation I know the least, unfortunately. So I forget the names of a lot of them, a lot of these Pokemon. But yeah, I've been catching them. I'm hoping to hatch some eggs that have come out since, because new eggs that I've gotten from gifts theoretically will have Pokemon in them as well. And there's a new there's the electric one. I gotta catch that. I got a bunch of stuff to do, basically, when it comes right down to it. But Pokemon Go is fun, and I enjoy it, so looking forward to catching more Pokemon. I'm going to have a bit of a walk tomorrow from the subway train to the Vice offices, and I should hopefully catch a few things on there. Thank you for asking, Washable Markers. All right, so we applied stickers. How weird. And that's going to do it. We'll have to find a raid to do it unplugged. Yeah, Ozone, we'll definitely have to do something. I got some, don't worry, I got some unknowns for you. I don't think there'll be any unknowns there. They've been at PAX East and West, and I got some at New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con. But I don't know if they'll be at Unplugged. But I'll be able to trade some. If you got something for me. I also have now the Pokemon that came out of eggs that were exclusive to different regions. Then you could get at eggs. The originally were exclusive. I got those, so I'm very excited about that. All right, so that's gonna do it. I'm gonna take a quick photo of that, upload it. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your Friday or Thursday into your Friday. Once again, tomorrow, so 22 hours from now, I will be streaming 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. at twitch.tv/PatBear. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you in the future. Bye-bye. And keep checking my Twitter, because I'll promote when I'm going to be on the stream tomorrow. Goodbye.